Will the green wall act as a dam going forward for these fluids? Well, only time will find out. That's right, Liquid, having been stomped on a Mirage, looking to bounce back on Train, and they can only hope to do just that, as we did have a slow start in the first half of the first game. In the second game, hopefully they bring a little momentum with them. I'm here on the the Xfinity analyst desk at the Intel Esports Arena alongside my colleagues in DeBears and James RL. Guys, are we going to have a better matchup this time or what?
Yeah, I mean, just law of like math, everything kind of regresses towards the average. I think the map will be closer. Will it go in Liquid's favor? I don't know. I think that was actually a pretty scary showing of OpTic. I think they proved themselves to a certain degree right there.
To a certain degree. I think we'll see by definitely this map. And if they can bring the same heat, or if Team Liquid maybe not play so sloppy, I would like to see. I mean, but Mixwell opping, him opping the entire, a majority of that Mirage half, he still got it. He still got the up, so don't put it down, man.
Well, Mixwell having done just work over there on Mirage, is there a chance here that on the Liquid side of the equation they can get their ops started as well? I mean, is JDM able to come out of Train and provide any firepower downrange?
Absolutely. I mean, he's probably going to see him back green. I feel like I see him most often on CT side. I think their secondary opera would actually be Stan, because I think he would be like the rotator to the inner site. So it's usually good to have, one op at each site to a certain degree. And Stan is actually, unbeknownst to a lot of people, pretty darn good with the op.
Yeah. Well, Stan also having just a little bit of that weight off his shoulders lifted, right? As we do know he's not calling anymore, but Nitro is. I think it adds like a very interesting dynamic to what's going on within the camp. And hopefully within this downtime between maps, they were able to formulate some sort of game plan here to get back into this one. Yeah,
I'm sure them having a coach like Zeus, he probably got really upset at them, probably trying to figure out, upset in a good way where you gotta spark that fire, you got to really push them outside their comfort zone. Let's kind of figure out what do we do to not play as bad on Mirage.
Well, as we bring up these Betway odds, I'm going to ask you guys for your predictions here real quick. And just looking at this, not super deficit between the two.
Yeah, well, Team Liquid looks like the favorite. I think they're still overall the better team, but maybe not tonight. And as we've seen in the Pro League so far, there's always that pattern of going 1-to-1. It's very, very little 2-0s or 0-2s.
Yeah, I think the odds are more or less, equal for each team. Sure, Liquid has better odds here, and that kind of goes with the reputational. I'm going to pick OpTic again for this map, actually.
And you might not be wrong. But to deliver us that action for one more final time tonight, we've got Blue and Launders to walk us through Train. Take it away, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Stunna. Train is going to be the map, and the teams, well, if you were here for the last match, it's going to be the same exact one. It's going to be OpTic Gaming taking on Team Liquid, and we'll just have to hope that Liquid were able to recover nicely after that last map, and we don't see the same issues popping up again here, and especially not as quick of a map as well.
Yeah, I would never anticipate that, first of all, that map to happen once, but for that to happen again, and especially not on Train, a map that I think Liquid is much better on than OpTic is right now. So I think OpTic CT side would be quite good on this map. I'm not sure who's starting on CT side. If it is OpTic, maybe we're in store for a little bit of trouble for Liquid, but if not, yeah, so it's actually Liquid starting on the CT side. I expect them to have a better T side than OpTic will have a CT. So I think they would go positive on both halves and actually be able to pull out the W. But OpTic looked sick earlier, man. They looked really good. I just think that JDM's going to be able to perform well. Everybody else is going to feel a lot more comfortable. And OpTic, even though they did have a lot of success with their ops, will have to rely on these pistols to be able to win.
Alu, actually looking away. HS saves it, however, and Magisk able to get another kill, but now it is just left down to Alu here, pushing into Ivy along with his other teammate. They'll go in very quickly to take that site control, but with already 3 kills going by the way of Team Liquid, it's not looking too good for them. Mixwell melts down JDM. Elige will trade, but now he's stuck in the back halls alone. A 1v3 set against him. Gets an angle to one player. It's taken them forever to realize where exactly he's at, but finally they figure out where Elige is hiding from here in the old bomb tunnel. He's going to look for still a route back up onto the site. No one giving him anything right now. The bomb now down on the ground. Sees the timer ticking against his favor. I'm not exactly sure if Liquid bought a kit or not, but he would have to do a lot of scouting to be able to look for that. He basically just has to do this within a 10-second marker to be able to defuse that bomb on time. Still trying to push down here. His opponent just had the off angle there too, so he's going to be ready to take him on. And Alu will get that last kill, giving the pistol to OpTic.
Wow, that was tough at Ivy to deal with. And it looks like Leech is really off his game right now. I mean, even continuing it for last month. I don't know what he finished with in terms of ADR off the last map, but it's clearly not feeling very comfortable right now. I wonder if everybody kind of took a break today or something, or aim-wise, but it seems like JDM's the only one who's really all here right now. Now we have to go into a pistol round. Great nade, 50 damage, straight on the nose. And Mixwell fall back. Everyone else pushing into inner, but the counter stack has already occurred.
HS also moving in there for the quick kill. Stan gets one up close with the CZ. The player on the back bomb train here, who's that? JDM looking for 1-2, but actually OpTic are going to back away from this now. Situation getting a little bit too dodgy on inner. Alu continuing to spam with the smoke. They're doing more and more damage to these players. Elige down at 18, and he's now the only man standing with Freiburg's elimination of JDM. Elige will just wrap around that old bomb tunnel again, looking for a route back in, but yeah, with just a scout in hand, the odds are very much going to be against his favor. And the peek out, oh, wow. Quick shot there, but yeah, he will go down to HS on a repeak.
Yeah, the 1 kill is not that bad, or 2 in total, I should say. Team Liquid, after that, tried to just follow up with what they knew. They saw Mixwell peek out T-Con, no one else followed up. They saw him fall back. They thought, okay, he has info. He saw 2 or 3 people. Why don't we try to go inside? Maybe they'll run inside. They did, and then OpTic actually came through with the double adjustment, keeping 1 player down the ramp just to hold whoever was left over and the rest of them to run outside.
Well, just a trade of damage first off here. OpTic actually taking way more. Mixwell specifically maybe taking way more than he would have expected. But regardless, OpTic now will go and send their players pushing in from A-Long here. Or Ivy, excuse me, not A-Long. They're going to move their guys in and start to nade things out. That'll finish off JDM from earlier with that nice little nade toss in there. And that clears things out because Liquid did decide to gamble stack over towards Bs. They had 4 players heading out there. They will not be able to get anything done in this round. And OpTic just still take things slow just for safety purposes here as they kind of molly out towards the ladder room. HS even waiting inside of Z by ticket, so if anyone tries to wrap back in, he should be ready to take that fight. Both of them actually taking these fights at the exact same time. Magisk and HS here, and actually, Magisk can't get anything going. Freiburg having to back up there too, but they still have nades to stem the tide here and stop these Seekers from doing anything. I really don't even think they're trying to push in. They're basically just trying to sit here and hope they can get a couple players out in the open, get a few more kills at least. Molly should send them flying. One's going to try to push forward because he did end up on the other side of the Molotov, but HS will handle that. And these last 3, unfortunately, aren't going to be able to do too much. 1 gets found out by Alu, and the last 2 will just back up.
And yep, there's that 3 rounds in a row. OpTic Gaming, save 3 alive, going to upgrade this MAC-10. I wonder if they'll actually upgrade this MAC-10 or not. They know that there was a force up on the 2nd round, so maybe Mixwell smells an opportunity to kill some unarmored or unhead-armored opponents. That would be quite the tragedy for Liquid if he actually did kill anybody, but it looks like he is going to hang on to this MAC-10. Another buy comes out a little late. I wonder how they're going to use him. He's definitely valuable as a scouter. He's not got much to lose. Now he's going to jump up, and HS drops down ladder fast, and his spawn wasn't good enough. So,
oh, it's even worse. Nitro gets caught looking away here, so that will be the trade completed. Freiburg just drops right down. Obviously, heavy consequences to his HP as a result of that. He's now just under 10 here, but Mixwell still with a MAC-10 in hand, mind you. Busts out T-Con there, taking down Elige. So only 3 players left standing for Liquid, and all 3 of them pretty split up too. 1 behind the bomb train, 1 out in the train lanes on A, and then another who has successfully pushed backhauls on B, but at the moment can't do much besides just holding that angle in the event that OpTic decide to swing inner instead.
now OpTic with the pincer move outside, clearing stuff out. Oh, JDM finding a nice op kill.
Mixwell just trying to hunt down that last player in the train lanes. JDM getting some work done though. Sees another one up on top. Swings to the side. Beautifully done by JDM, especially considering the movement here. Now the tables have turned. There's still 45 seconds left for Magisk, but he's found out by the ladder player, and when the time comes, Stanislaw does come out on top there, finishing it off for Team Liquid and putting them on the board in this gun round with a beautiful recovery.
Hell yeah, see that, man. Like, JDM's definitely on point right now. He's hitting all kinds of stuff. That was really cool how he played that last guy, and that must have been terrifying knowing this guy's running on top of you. Damn, outplayed Alu completely as well. But unfortunately, he didn't take like the brunt of the contact. It was all his teammates dying first, and then him having the clutch was just kind of the worst spot for your Opera to be in. You want them to live the longest, but you also want them to take the duels.
Just getting into Boxels there's a little bit too boldly, does not check his entire surroundings, so Stan is going to be able to find that very first kill, taking down HS. The rest of OpTic, they did initially get out of T-Con and had a little bit of presence outside, but did not want to hold there due to them being outnumbered and their Ivy players not even having started their hit just yet. It's not worth it right now, so they will fall back inside, and Alu primarily just kind of scouting for intel right now. He did spot the one player on Speedway, realizes he has the bomb while he's doing this too, so he'll chuck that away to the side. Also see another player go up on top by ladder in there, trying to change his position so they get a little bit more diversity to this hit instead of just a straight up two-man push outside of T-Con. Nitro is going to be pushing forward, and he has support up on top from Stan if need be. Alu just trying to cheat himself forward. He can see the shadow there, so he's going to wait for the peek. Nade going over top, it will blind him. He misses the shot. Easy kill for Nitro. He takes down Alu here now. A second will come from Stan. Magisk will trade, but Elige holds strong by Ebox and twists. The Ivy defender will also take out that last man standing, Freiburg.
Liquid easily find their footing. Good nades into T-Con, and they were kind of peppering them in. They used a couple of Molotovs, but even after using those early, they still had 2 left over. So we're very prudent, conscientious of what they had left to work with. OpTic are going to be on, for the most part, a full save. I think we'll be hoping to be able to buy next round, and we'll just have one upgrade on Mixwell as they pour into B, it seems.
One of them does get actually dinked, it looks like, on the way across here. So HS already down to 11 HP. Stan pushing in, clears that ramp. They know they're all coming from upper now. The molly onto the ground. Stan kind of playing a little bit with fire there on those peaks, but his sacrifice is very much noted here as these last two will attempt to clutch unsuccessfully. The bomb will go down, however, so if that was OpTic's only goal, they succeed in that.
His only prerogative was just to try to deny the plan if possible, and they found a new way to get to the site, so that's his MP9. And his 60 HP weren't good enough. OpTic are going to be buying up, though, and are going to be buying up with like tons of utility and stuff like that, so it's going to be very, it's going to be 2 opponents in the same weight class. Only thing is there are some CT advantages that I think Liquid will play very well. They're going to make it very difficult for Alu, who has the op, to try to find a dry opening kill. That being said, the operas on Liquid might ask for room themselves. They've got Stanislaw and JDM to be holding on to them. And if Alu's fast enough, might be able to take one of these 2 fights.
Stan, he's going to be able to catch first kill here now, knocking on HS and quickly falls back, so it's basically a first kill for free. No opportunity for a trade here. Nitro finds Alu trying to lurk out from T-Con. And at the moment, OpTic just not hitting anything here, so these last 3 are going to try to make an all-in attempt from Ivy. But Jisk actually does catch Twist. But now they've got to actually get out onto the site here, where these other 2 are patiently waiting for them. JDM and Nitro both picked up the kills. Magisk trading actually onto both of them as he holds strong. All 3 kills so far for him. And still at about 30 HP, so he's not out of this fight just yet, even though he's still up against the 1v2. The smoke will buy him a little bit of extra real estate here. He's going to be a little bit cautious with the ladders, but failed to notice that Elige had already gone over by T-Con, got up on top of those trains, and will then easily shut him out.
Elige, a big fan of the top bunk, will always use those ladders to try to get vision. And that round got very expensive, but they were able to recover their 2 ops, and I think before the round ended. So that's a big win for Liquid. They know that also there's going to be a save for OpTic, so Stanislaus picked up the MP9 once again for Inner, I want to say. He's here solo, which is kind of curious. I mean, versus a rush, it's still, you have a lot of advantages, but you don't have a fast rotate. Instead, ladder control for Liquid, as 2 CTs are down here. And Twist finds an opening off kill on Ivy.
So Magisk already dead on the ground, and OpTic with just this half-eye. We're not expecting anything amazing from them anyway. All their players being forced out. Nitro knows the flash is in. It's actually a little bit late, so he's just going to try to kill him before the flash popped, but the very last second, Nitro spins around, kills him with Elige's additional kill. He's only Freiburg alive, trying to hide in T-Con. Hopefully trying to get 1 or 2 players pushing him so that he can try to get at least 1 frag here. But other than that, the round is very much over. And Liquid will be going up to 5 in a moment, as soon as they're able to hunt down Freiburg.
Definitely like to see that OpTic's T-side has improved, but from what I remember, it puttered to a halt very quickly, so I'm not sure if it'll be refined enough to take down Liquid. even though Liquid showed some poor form in the past map. We do have a pause called to maybe review strategies, talk about future options. I'm not sure if there's that's attack from OpTic or not. Yeah, so OpTic's going to take a tactical. They've already picked up the op on Alu. This is an indication that they most likely want to do something slow or defaulty to start so that he can have some time to work. It's very difficult as a job for an opper on T-side train to find opening kills. There's a lot of options in T-Con, but there's not a lot of reasons for CTs to peek you. And as long as they have ops, they can always hold on to angles that they can get to first, wait for kills like we saw from Stanislaw at Inner or Twist at Ivy, for example. So, difficult job, hard to have impact. Not many people can do it. Honestly, Alu's never been the kind of player who has had a lot of T-side train op impacts, and definitely have been watched a lot of it, a lot of his T-side train play. But that's why sometimes you just rifle instead. You go 5 rifles, you don't slow down your mobility. Some CT teams just won't give you the picks. It's too easy for them to avoid it.
Well, nades out, doing a little bit of damage early on to the 2 players at Ivy. That's pretty much just prediction at this point, since those nades, excuse me, since OpTic have shown quite a bit of presence at the edge of Ivy. So it's a safe bet to deal some damage early on. Besides this, though, OpTic rolling their players back around the sides. They are lined up for default execution, keeping the options open to Inner, but more than likely just having their players back there throwing a couple nades before then diving down ladder, the real execute into the A site.
So just as we talked about, just this like straight up default. Alu sitting back, spamming, making sure that nobody's pushed. Liquid have thrown a smoke, but just a feign T-Con control, just to bait out utility, delay for a lot longer. Magisboy has made all the way up Ivy, and wow, that's one way to get a kill.
Double kill for Mixwell, though, as he's going to be able to take down a majority of these players. Nitro moves in and just deletes Magisk, so stops him from making anything happen. But
whoa,
the Inner hit for Mixwell has gone so well that now he's gotten all the way up to CT, kills Twist, and he has these 2 additional players lined up. In fact, he does a total of about 75 damage between the 2 of them there, bringing Nitro down to 50 and JDM down to 75. Plant will happen with about 5 seconds in excess, so they just barely make that happen. And they've got a hold in the 1v2. Both are going to go back calls as well. Neither of them have a Molotov, however, so interesting note there. It's actually the CTs that have the only Molotov right now. Nitro, he's going to take a challenge versus Freiberg, does some good damage to him here, and moves in, gets the kill. Now Alu's stuck alone, 1v2. His teammate's going to be moving in from upper as well, and Alu doesn't even know that yet, sees him, but too late. JDM will close out, and that's Liquid keeping it consistent now, 6-3.
Damn, I was about to applaud Alu for avoiding. I mean, I still can, I guess. Suppose he just like didn't fall for that shoulder peek, even though it seemed like it was wide enough. So that was clutch by him. But then actually moving off the angle, because I think he was worried about having to bait another one out, or that Nitro was too aware of where he was and wanted to look for another 1v1 in a different way. Either way, Liquid approached the 2v2 quite carefully. Nice round from Mixwell, even though it didn't result in the round actually closing out. And good job on Liquid staying aware on all fronts, including Nitro, especially at Ivy killing Magisboy, who was in a very strong position at top Ivy with that much time remaining.
Yeah, so let's see OpTic. They still are able to get a buy together, but HS,
oh, wow.
He knew he was dead the second he jumped off that barrier there. So JDM just lines up the shot for the ground perfectly, and as soon as he touches down, he touches the grave too. As JDM gets that first kill for free. And that's not the first time that's happened either. We've seen that happen multiple times in the half so far now.
Yeah, Liquid have been doing a good job of making it scary to take Hall's control. Alu getting mollied all the way out of T-Connector. Mixwell kind of fluffing the ladder control, which can be finicky. Getting up with 18 HP, but his life as well, which is important. And Liquid are quite comfortable. They don't have that many nades left over, but OpTic don't have that many people. They've now fallen back to try to retake Ivy together, as they have left 2 people inside, 1 with an op. Oh, wow.
Oh, timing on this. Wow, it's going to be terrible for JDM. He does get the smoke out, but it's going to be nothing now, because these players will push past it anyway. Stanislaw at least gets in there for the quick trade, taking down Mixwell. And the rest of OpTic moving in. They did try to go for a quick plant, but Elige, just kind of stomping away there. Doesn't try to shift walk or sneak up at all, so it's Freiburg that easily catches that and then gets that additional pickup. Now, it's even here for OpTic as they try to hold in the post plant, but there's no one watching upper, so Twist just walks right up. Still alive. They did trade onto Stan, and now Nitro too, so it's the young man, Twist, looking to clutch here, but he'll fall short. Alu's going to take him down. OpTic finally putting together another round here.
I don't know what the reason was. I guess that when they retook Ivy control, they called to like the inner guys that Ivy was clear. They hadn't seen anyone in T-Con. They mollied Alu out. He didn't come back, so they were like, oh, it's probably going to be inner. But what's the value of JDM coming off an angle that they're most likely going to push any moment to smoke it, but also be exposed while he's smoking it? So I mean, if he held on, they would have walked right into his op shot. And what does that smoke really do if he's going to hold on to it anyway?
Well, Stan to quickly dive back to the site here, or to the back of the site. This will be found out there in the open lane on sidewalk. Team Liquid just have to quickly rotate into try and find some retake angles here as OpTic just straight up rush B this time, and it works out for them. They get in, they get the plant, and they're going to look to close out on Liquid here. Magis trying to spam that a little bit too heavily, and Stan finds an opening for him to go in, swinging in with the op shot to take out Magisk. Now, the others still trying to push forward here too. There's still advanced positions for other players on OpTic, but they're not being very well defended. Mixwell gets taken down. He won't even have a chance to respond to it. HS is going to be overwhelmed in a moment here. 2 more straight kills from the side of Liquid. Freiburg's going to attempt to creep back out. And he does spam killing the first diffuser, but Twist, a little bit of spam of his own, is going to be able to take down Freiburg. And
oh,
did they get this?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No! They didn't even get it. That was such a clean retake, too.
Dude, they had that Freiburg sprayed through the smoke. How many players were alive? Oh, I wish we could see.
From OpTic, no one. Liquid at 3, I think.
No. They had at least 4.
Yeah. Well, after they
three.
killed Nitro, they had 3.
Well, yeah. I mean, technically only be 4.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Wow, that's surprising, actually. I mean, I guess, yeah, it did take Liquid a little bit of time to start that retake, but it seemed so clean from Liquid.
It definitely was.
Just falling a little bit too short on the timer there, so pretty big mess up. This time, however, things are different.
See, even losing that round, Liquid have more money in this round because they didn't lose enough people. So, yeah, OpTic got the round win, but they actually lost 5 players on a round win. So they couldn't get more economically destroyed than they will this round if they lose.
And they're already down to 2 players, so their odds are not looking great. Neither of those players have even a flashbang to play with either, so it's just dry peaks is all they can do.
I don't know why. I wonder why going fast was the call they wanted to. I know they were low utility, so maybe they didn't want to play out a long round, but all Liquid had to do was stop a rush, and then the round would have been, you know, the rest of the round is a lot easier. Oh my god, that was scary.
And both of the ops get kills at pretty much the exact same time there as well. Alu and Freiburg go down, and that re-secures the advantage for Liquid. And just as you were saying here, immediately OpTic are reset now.
Yeah, it's not even just like one player with enough money to buy and everyone's low. Everybody has no money. Yeah, when you want to double save, don't buy down to 0. Buy down to like 700 or something like that, and then you double save, and then you have enough money for nades. You just spend down to 0 and like, all right, oh, I got a double save. Let me just spend all my money. Like, that's a really dumb idea, because when you do double save, you still won't have that much. You'll only have just over 4K, so you won't be able to put together the buy you want.
Well, Twist is going to be able to get the kill against Magisk. Stan should have been heard by Mixwell, I think, at that range. So he's going to hunt him down, but most of OpTic is slowly deteriorating here, as they're down to 3 players at this point. And there we go. Mixwell, yeah, he did hear that sound. Oh, and the second one as well to eliminate JDM. He's got a rifle in hand now, trying to go for the third, but I think unfortunately the aim punch is going to mess him up there a little bit too much now. Liege moves in. HS looking for the trade, but the spam from his Deagle is not going to work this time. Yeah.
Deagle blows, man. That is stupid. It's like, it has that for the first shot it's useful, but do you feel comfortable in a 1v1 with the Deagle?
Depends on the range. If it's long range, no.
If it's long range, no?
No, especially if it's spam. If you don't kill them on the first shot.
I swear, if they're close, I feel uncomfortable.
No, if they're close, it's usually pretty good for me, actually. Like, if I'm holding an angle and not moving, then it's fine. But if I have to move, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're editing DLL files and stuff, maybe.
So another pause going to be called from OpTic here as they use their second now. Unfortunately, still very far behind Liquid here and still recovering from their economy. Only 2 rounds left in the half as well.
They did only spend half their money. They also They also got a bomb plant, which is really good. They're still going to have to save one more, but they should be in a good place for the last round. I guess they've got to decide what they're going to... I don't know. Are they deciding what they're going to do in the last round? They can decide if they want to try to force up here and win 2 rounds. I think a 9-6 half is not all that bad. Oh, they have actually bought. Oh, they must have more money than I anticipated. The bomb plant helps.
Yeah, everybody and Magisk, what does he get? CZ, so he's the odd man out this time. But everyone else will have pretty much a full purchase here. Freiburg just having to go down to a Galil. Still going to be fine for these players, however. Specifically, Stan's going to be first up to bat, tries to shoot them on cross, but will miss that. The nade, however, actually does do a decent amount of damage, 20. Lots of mixable there, so hits for about half of its total damage. A lot less than that. JDM and Elige both kill players on inner and outer.
It's gone. You can't get that.
Sucks.
Oh, he got it.
No, he got it. He just had to go on that lower part there. But now he's going to kind of awkwardly back away from the B's site. The job is done.
Yeah.
They pulled a lot of rotates, actually. And now Nitro is going to have to be the one to realize this as he walks out into the open and gets that nasty surprise that they are indeed executing outer for real. Alu even waiting up behind the bomb train, ready to fire back if these guys try to peek after the plant. And they do move out. The shot hits, too, but it's through part of the train, so it's not going to be a full kill.
Uh-oh.
Twist has his flank, but I think the jump gives him away, especially the nade too. Freiburg, he's going to be peeking out though, and that's where Elige will get him. It's just 2 remaining for this T side. Alu also completely flashed out temporarily there, but he's going to swing in. Stan's caught looking back down below at the bottom of the ladder. He also swings out for the second. He has the headshot lined up. Dinks Elige at least. So it's him versus Magisk to clutch. And he does not have a whole lot of time to defuse that bomb. As soon as he jumps onto it, Magisk goes out into the open, and he will get the closer there, putting OpTic up to 6.
See, that is what the good thing is about Alu, though. He's not... I personally don't think he's like an amazing opper, but he knows how to rifle like really well.
Yeah.
So he's totally useful in both roles, and that is cool. He just did like almost 300 damage in the clutch there, and they have been really weaponizing Mixwell as this like really fast entry man for B. I think he's been getting a little impatient, and they want to take advantage of that. So he's been jumping out. There he is in T-Con, ready to pounce.
Now also going under. Oh my god, he catches Nitro jumping. Oh, and he almost does it again.
Fast too.
Into the back lane. There's no hesitation on it at all. Stan trading back for 1, but he's already dead too. Alu trying to flank around. The smoke is covering it right now, but once that fades, it's open season for him to pick up anyone else that's still hunting behind the bomb train. Twist knows this, so he's going to attempt to hide, but another clean headshot from Alu. That's one obviously a little bit easier than the previous one. It's down to JDM in a 1v3 who rotates from CT. He does have 2 players low, so in theory he could try to do this with a pistol, but Alu's still alive as well, and he's at 100 HP.
Damn, that was sick. In my opinion, that's a more true test of reactions than like killing somebody jump spotting from beyond overpass, because when you anticipate that shot, your reaction time's heightened. Alu is like just killed someone jump peeking from a spot that no one ever does that from. So.
And JDM just ends up flustering himself there as he pushes out into nothing. So OpTic do indeed bounce back at the end of the half, and it's a dead heat now. 7-8. Stick with us to see who will come out on top once we come back from this break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
for the last time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's time to dive right back into Train. 8-7, anyone's game at this point here between Team Liquid and OpTic, but Team Liquid definitely showing up better this time, so we'll hope that they can keep it together now as they switch sides.
Yeah, they definitely had some tricks up their sleeve in the last couple of rounds of that half, using Mixwell especially to get those double entry or single entry rounds where it really changed the rotations heavily. Alu having a really great game for himself. Even I don't think even like having a huge impact with his ops still has managed to pull up a nice close to 100 ADR, and a Liege bouncing back as well, 112. So
as you can see though, it is time to dive back into it. So it's Liquid on the T side, OpTic Gaming on CT. They will have to look to recover quickly here. Liquid will look to close out now, as they do have that lead, but like I said, it's only one round, so it could be anyone's game depending on the start of this half. We're going to just split their players up at the beginning here. A couple of them going up through the halls very quickly. We'll probably try to drop in ladder with 3 others going over. There is the potential for an inner hit off of this too, as we've been seeing more and more teams do this quick little split through CT. As they push through the back halls, and on the pistol they might attempt it, but actually looks like with this one player in T-Con that they might just go for the more standard outer hit here. Just about getting those players in Ivy in position. They held behind the box originally, just in case OpTic decided to get greedy this time and push out of Ivy themselves. Didn't look to do it, however. And now Liquid will go for a bit of a slow crawl initially, but now exploding out from Ivy. Freiberg not going to take any of that, though. He gets at least 1 kill, but goes down afterwards. Twist comes jumping back out, and Liege spamming in here, gets very close to taking down Mixwell. Mixwell not even really trading that damage out to the best of his ability there. He just tries to peek too, but nothing being found for him there. He'll get shut down by Twist. The last 2 from the CT side pushed into Z, forced away from the situation. Both of them also went low HP, so unless there's a major screw up here by Liquid, they should be in control of this pistol.
yeah, there's a lot of great reasons to save armor in this situation. Can use it for the 2nd and 3rd round without spending all that money. This is directly valuable in any future round, so you know, in some ways, well, it's more valuable than grenades usually because you won't have that many. You probably use 1 or 2. And as for Liquid, they win that round off of gushing basically everybody that came on their screen. There was no problem for them individually across the board, all winning their duels, even when getting caught off guard. Uh-oh.
Oh, the Liege got one too.
Damn. That's rough. It's like they might as well have gone for it.
Yeah, they might as well have attempted it.
Yeah, that sucks.
So that does give Liquid the clearance. They're going to be able to reestablish their lead a little bit here. OpTic, for a lot of their guys, at least, they kind of buy into it towards the end of it. But 2 of their guys don't really buy anything except for the HE grenades there on Alu and Mixwell.
I think the money just didn't update too fast. They got 3 deagles and 3. Oh.
Well,
later.
That works.
See, that's the one downside of going in for fast decal control, to look for like a ladder push. You can get naded to hell right away,
especially on eco rounds like this. So
yeah. That was good. That was like 3 grenades. It's like really hard to aim into T-Con.
Alu's on top of this train. They do take out Freiberg pretty quickly. Ooh, and they also take down Alu too. Not a lot of damage traded back. So Liquid again in good shape here. They spot 1 more player to the back train lane. And JDM just waiting for the timing that's proper to push out and take him out. It'll be Magisk challenging him. He does have the deagle in hand, but not going to be able to find impact with it. And now Mixwell sits as really the only player left in this site. HS working on a flank here, but somehow they never noticed Mixwell crept all the way up to this bomb train, so he is allowed to get away with that kill. At least knocking out 2 players here. Oh, and HS, I don't know if he realized it, but the bomb was down right there for a second. Now he's going to move in. He does hit JDM. But
wow. Did he dink him?
I don't think he dinked him, but...
You could, I mean, yeah, you should be able to kill the train stopper from that far with a deagle.
Yeah.
You can dink and not kill with a deagle, though.
Really?
Yeah.
It'd have to be like through something, though, wouldn't it?
No. It just has to be far enough away.
Yeah, it might have been.
I just don't remember if JDM had 100 health or not. I don't think it was. He had 20 at the end, so, but either way, it was not so bad, I suppose, for OpTic for investing only half their money. Full save now as they prepare mentally, physically for the next full rifle round of the game. Leash to Molly at some close spots as 3 people go out to Ivy.
He's trying to figure out where those shots are coming from there. Freiberg will actually take him down. Remember, this is just OpTic on USPs, and they actually get the first kill. Oh no. What is this?
He like straight up negated the headshot thing. And oh my god.
What is going on? What's going on right now? How is this happening? They had USPs. They had 5 USPs, and they just eco Liquid like that.
Dude, they just hit so many headshots. Oh my god. Yo, man just got a 3K with a USP at Ivy.
1,
Ding,
2.
ding.
Where's the third push? Here we go.
Oh
And a
my
dink.
god.
Wow.
That's nuts. That's the I mean, that's not even the impact of like the aim punch update until the last kill, because those first 2 guys weren't even looking at him. He just like had straight up insane accuracy for those first 2 kills.
If anything, that's just gonna tilt Liquid.
Yeah, I mean they should be.
So what kind of buy did they get? 3 AKs and 2 CZs here for this next buy now. And they are going to go for this quick push down. A lot of their players outside of B. The bomb's here too, but let's see if they decide to stick with it, as they also have the 2 players right outside of T-Con. Whether they're just going to throw in smokes to make it look like a fake or actually commit is yet to be seen. I don't know if they were close enough to hear that damage tick go off.
Yeah, it's a good question.
So they might...
They're still set up to watch upper though, so...
Yeah.
Mix is going to move from here or not. Yeah, it looks like he is. Oh.
Twist saw it way too late, though. They're going to go back out. And yeah, I think Magiska's aware of this as he's immediately looking towards upper there. He can only get 1, though, with a MAC-10 in hand. It's Mixwell that's got to do a lot more of the heavy lifting as he pushes forward here. He will probably wait for his teammates to rotate into better positions, though. He can at least isolate that lane on ramp. But it's a short-lived story. Nitro pushes up with the CZ to take him down. And we're right back into an even fight now. A 3v3. With 2 flanks coming in. Elige very well aware of that, but he still can't stop it. HS with a wild peek to take him down. Stan holds right by the bomb. Keeps it even down to a 2v2. And now Alu's going to walk in. It's a messy spray, but it gets the job done. And now just Nitro left with only a CZ. He's also low on ammo, but he gets that headshot. Alu looked like he was going to stick that for a second, but when Nitro swings up, he's ready to take that duel. Alu wins it out. And obviously we'll have plenty of time to defuse that bomb, putting them just 1 round away from tying it up against Liquid here.
We started off the round with a B split, and obviously a good trade on the entries allowed Liquid to get in the site, and caught a weird timing where Mixel was falling off, and I'm not sure if that was because some utility went down outside and they wanted to pull the 4-1, but it ended up being really good timing on that. So I'm gonna give Liquid the benefit of the doubt and say they did something to influence that rotation. But either way, retake was solid. 2 players in the big flank. It was something Liquid were definitely not ready for, and now OpTic to solidify a tie-up and hopefully for them achieve a lead for the first time in the half are going to be getting onto the double op setup. And we saw how fearsome this was on Mirage between Alu and Mixwell. Getting 2 and 3 kills apiece sometimes.
No action from Liquid just yet. Still kind of holding their players at bay, but Alu's going to be able to swing in there. Twists partially in the open. We'll let Alu get the kill. Blinded now, so he can't actually see that player at Speedway just yet. Iberg, though, is going to help out with the rifle in hand. He's going to be able to find Stan, taking him down. The nades will now flow in. Oh, and almost the double there from Alu. Actually surprised that that misses, but that will open up multiple opportunities for Nitro to get kills. He does get caught crossing back into T connector, though, and that's where OpTic will take him down and now tie the matchup.
Yeah, quick tie, recover the op, buy up, and the same thing for Liquid. Heavy hitting rifle rounds. JD, I'm going to pick up the op. Let's see what he does on the T side. Just as big of a job on his hands as it was for our man Alu in the first half.
Let's see here. It's a big train of players from Liquid quickly going down. They actually take ladder control too. Oh, and that flash out completely blinds HS. There's a reapplication of it as well. Mixwell does trade it, however. Those are the only players pushing him. Oh, look at this right now. They even move in. They're not going to actually be able to catch the player that crosses there into Z. So Magisk still sits in the site. It's a bait to a certain degree. Alu moving out makes them think the site is clear, but in the meanwhile, Magisk stayed strong, got that double kill, keeping OpTic very well alive into this round. And the 2 op shots will close it out for them as they now take the lead.
Magisk with his beautiful spray just bails him out, barely using any ammo on each kill, which was the critical point here. And notices that there's a player kind of running wild and thought probably that he was going to try to fight him, but here's the man to trade. Twists. Didn't expect him to be peeked out as wide as he was. And now OpTic are in the lead.
CZs and P250s is another, for the most part, half-buy round from Team Liquid. Their players are just going to split up this time here. Sending 3 to the Whitehalls, 2 to Ivy. Not a whole lot of action early on. No more fast plays from them. In fact, all of their Ivy players will shift away Probably going to be grouping up with the Whitehall's players now. As more than likely, you will see them attempt an inner hit, but let's hold up and see. They do have a limited amount of smokes. There are only 3 players able to buy them up this time. So inner would be a little bit easier to get control over. However, those 2 guys are still sitting outside of T-Con, so that option is present too.
Rouge taking his time. Does the bomb actually want to come out here? It's late if so. Nope.
Sitting in.
They want to go inside.
Yeah, they're going to go inner. It looks like just a bit of a fake here now. They still have Magisk sitting inside, and he already double kills onto these players. Nose of the third, takes him down. Nitro gets 1, and now he's the only man standing. Mixo with a close-up op shot, takes him down. OpTic with another round, and again, very clean, only losing 1 player here, so their money's going to grow very quickly. We've got guys approaching 10K already.
There's just so many choke points outside, and yeah, they had to run through his molly. He was just fully ready for it. They're trying to go in between nades there, but it wasn't good enough. And even just one reload was able to kill 3 people. But outside, just so many smokes that you can use for there that you may need to use to stop anybody from being able to see your ladder players coming out. Liquid decided to use like the classic Yugo strat of running ladder to plant on the right side of the bomb and turn that into a fake. Nitro getting flashed out again. HS gets really blind one more time.
Somehow he's still alive, however. Liquid don't push in quickly enough, so he's allowed to get away with an additional kill before being overwhelmed by Stan. Stan keeping this round alive right now for Liquid, though, as he gets that second kill. JDM's in a tough spot, though. He's stuck behind this. He's going to kind of rely on Stan to get him out of here. He can't even really go in and get the bomb back without having to risk his own life. The molly will burn him out. He dies to it. Oh, Stan getting some nice intel off of that, but the spray right there is going to give him away. They now know he's hiding at Sandwich. And let's see where he's going to go here.
They left the bomb, so they either leave. Ivy will, that's like the second choke point that he would go to if he fell back. The least likely is inner. It looks like instead of doing that, he's going to try to work his way down ladder. And it's true that there is nobody watching this right now. Oh, there is.
No, Ivy.
Okay, there it is. And OpTic are just doing really good with these fast rounds. Liquid seem to be throwing some haymakers. It's been 6 rounds in a row now for OpTic Gaming. Taking the lead, running away with it, now looking like they're just going to close this game out. Kind of surprised at Liquid's T-side.
And it all started with that unfortunate round.
Which one?
The one where they upset them with 5 USB.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Starts with them just not checking like the tops of trains and corner angles when they try to walk in from T-Con, and then Magisk just kind of tears it all to pieces there as he pushes through that smoke at the back Ivy hallway. Well, this time from Liquid, it is just going to be a straightforward rush outside. They get smokes to cover off parts of the site. Twist is going to end up walking through a molly. However, look at this. They're not watching this other angle at all, so he's going to walk in, completely blocks off the site. Now they have to fight for a retake. At the very least, they should get a plant out of this. There's no reason why they wouldn't here now. And there we go. There's the plant. JDM running across Z, though. Destroys HS. Now it's a little bit of a delicate situation for OpTic. Alu's also very low, so he can't play in the open. The T's have Z control.
Yeah, Z control with that side smoke. That's intimidating.
OpTic have their own angles with which to retake this, though, so Mixwell's going to start walking back in. They will have to deal with a possible flank, and that's going to push in and kill Alu. They're not leaving themselves a lot of time, so actually I think they're just going to force this issue.
Oh.
But just going in,
Oh.
and no, it's not going to be enough. Twist actually walks up from behind him and stabs him in the back. So Liquid do hold on there, and just a half buy win this round, which might have just saved them for being outright destroyed by OpTic here on the scoreline.
Yeah, that's a big win. Running up through the middle of the site, catching one player off guard. The communication gets really crazy outside, and if you are able to make that much ground, it can be extremely easy to lose track of where the terrorists have gotten to and who died and what they're about to do. So all those things worked out really well for Liquid. And Liquid, I like them not just sitting in their post plans patiently and hoping for the round to just end, and instead taking control of it, pushing through Z together.
Be quickly out this time too, but Alu just having a corner angle to play off of there. He is going to have to be careful of Ivy. That ultimately gets taken down by JDM. So Liquid getting great control. HS going out into the open there is going to leave him in the open for Twist to take him out. Just Mixwell and Magisk, both of which are going to back away, I think, to save.
This is like Gambit versus Astralis Light. Start busting outside real fast after losing so many rounds in a row with their on-the-run smokes. two of these players, Mixwell and Magic Boy, are just going to hang on. They've got lots of utility and stuff like that. Just don't want to die at this point. Liquid have had a couple of very successful rounds, and with 4 alive here, they're economically doing well. It looks like we're going to have a very heated end to this game. And this is going to be super tight. What are the? Do you know what the standings are right now offhand? OpTic are 11-4.
That sounds right.
But what are Liquid at? Shoot, I should know this.
I don't know off the top of my head. OpTic are 14-5, Liquid are 10-5.
10-5, okay.
So still a little bit behind, but that should be enough wins to keep Liquid pretty close to the top 6 right now. I think, though, that we're getting pretty close to a point where it like varies from season to season, but last season it was around like 15 to 17 wins that you were secure, somewhere around there.
Interesting. Liquid are actually the ones to pause. After winning 2 rounds in a row, I probably want to sit back and think for a second, okay, maybe they were a little frustrated because they lost that 1 round, lost a streak following it, couldn't figure out what to do, came out with a couple fast strats that worked. Maybe that helped them cool off, get some confidence back, and now they're kind of deciding, okay, well, what do we do from now? We can take it slow, we can go fast, realize we can win T rounds, we're still in this game, it's not completely getting away from us, and how do we want to set up? I think they have a variety of options. They also might be trying to take a guess at what the economy is like for OpTic if they haven't been able to keep track. If they're anticipating another buy, do they know Mixwell still has his op? They're probably guessing he does. And maybe they're just talking about how they're going to run their anti-eco one more time. But I think this round, if anything, should be treated as an anti-eco, and that should be treated safely. But with the thought in mind that it's going to be likely a force buy.
OpTic, they don't buy anything at all behind it. Just the 2 saves from the last round. And they'll keep Magisk outside. Actually, they'll keep both of them outside that have the guns. So the inner hit is just the pistol players. Liquid have a very good read on this, though. And if they do end up executing inner, then they'll just have to deal with players with pistols. But that might not be the case, considering we do have the 3 guys around Ivy/T-Con. So it could also be a ladder drop in. Magisk is here. Usually it's HS that plays this spot, but obviously with Magisk having the rifle, he's going to be potentially a little bit better suited to play this one off here. So only leaving a Liege by the top of ladder. The others are going to wrap back down, and this will indeed be the outer hit. So that's going to be a lot of pressure on Mixwell, because obviously Magisk can really only cover ladder room. So Mixwell not only has to cover himself from an Ivy push, but also from a T-Con play too. He's going to get a little bit of help now. Alu cheats himself over from the B side early before the hit even begins, so he can actually hold behind the first train and try to see if he can, at the very least, delay things a tad. Same for HS, as he's actually going to be right over here by Ivy himself. So they do figure out what's happening before the hit begins. Now it's about actually trying to hold with this very minimalist gun power. Liege, though, makes a mistake, walks right into his opponent. HS, nothing he can do about that, but he might be able to try and spam in there. Not going to find it, though. The bomb goes down in a clean fashion. A few more kills for Liquid, but 2 players with guns are going to be able to trade back a bit here. Freiburg now dead, and it's all on Mixwell. He knows he's got one at E-Box. Does he find the other one, though? Seems like that shot would have hit, but apparently not. It's going to keep that T alive, and now upon swinging out, he's in the open, ready to take a fight against Mixwell. That'll be the tie again with Liquid, bringing it up to 13.
Damn, that was so close. You could see the confidence in that peak as he went to look for Twist's body and actually almost hit that shot. So also had info on the last guy at E-Box. Nitro got the very important kill there, shutting down the ladder flank, and was quite impressed with how Magisk was able to kill Mixwell at the top of the ladder to kick things off, or sorry, Alicia at the top of the ladder to kick things off, who was trying to play it as carefully as possible, just finding out there was someone down there and then letting his teammates know who were busting out T-Con. He was not supposed to die in that strat, so great recovery from Liquid. Nice attempt from Mixwell, and now it is all tied up with 2 buys. And this round will be a save for OpTic if they end up losing. I don't know what that means. It's match point.
Well, it remains quiet at the start here. Liquid aren't really going to attempt anything crazy, just usual control as they are lined up for that outside default again. However, with the bomb right outside of the kitchen steps, well, we could see it swinging towards inner this time if Liquid decide to favor it in that direction. You'll note, though, there is a 2-man setup in ladder, so they're definitely trying to position themselves for that. One is going to be watching for a T-Con push, basically covering the primary ladder guy. Now he's going to get flashed. Just going down to check for intel, and I think he should have seen that there's two there. But Mixwell is just going to be allowed to walk right out T-Con, and he kills both of those players. Wow. They didn't have that covered at all. That's very surprising. Twist will try to walk back in, but he's a little bit too late for this trade, so now they don't have a choice. They have to go inner, and OpTic know this. Look, they're all rotating in here already. You're getting very close to it. Moving in, Magist just getting a free early kill, sitting on the outside of Spindles. Elige will trade it back the other way, but now it's a 4v2. They have forward presence of the site already. One of them getting spammed down before he even comes fully down ramp as well. They don't have the bomb, and there we go. OpTic with a beautiful hold and an even better push from Mixwell instead of T-Con. OpTic will be able to hold on to the lead.
This is the best possible. That was the best possible result for the best possible game, because we have another buyout for Liquid Mixwell with the BDP pushing into T-Con, calling out that it's empty all by himself and fishing for that second kill, getting him with a second burst of bullets. That was actually quite difficult to do considering the distance and how he was jumping around, but he managed to get in and out really quickly and didn't die. Got that info, called out the inner rotate. And
Liquid just going to rush this time out. Oh, and they get a great flash too. The Ivy player still able to do a little bit damage onto their initial push. Mixwell spamming in. They're all stuck in E-Box. They can't get past it yet. That's going to be dangerous for them. They need to keep making this momentum. Otherwise, OpTic are just going to melt them down if this takes too much time. There we go. Freiberg with a nade kill. Elysian Twist trade a couple frags back, but a second nade kill comes out, and Magisk follows that nade kill up with one final frag. That's going to put OpTic up to 15 rounds.
Yeah, that is one way to stop what has been working so often for Liquid. Great counter flashes. That was the first thing that after even all those nades came out and all the chaos happened, there was like great counter flashes on the two players that were coming out ladder, and they were unable to like run up to the site. So well done.
And now Liquid end up in a forced situation for what could be the final round of the map. They only have one AK, a single ump on Stan, and 3 pistols besides that. Decent utility, so they can set up and execute. But like I said, the firepower is going to be limited here, although that does not necessarily mean much. By the way that this map has gone so far, we've seen upsets on both sides, from full ecos, half-buys, and all sorts of things. So this game has been crazy. And OpTic, of course, will be very happy to take this after starting off from behind. In the half here, they recovered beautifully on round number 3 with a full USP eco upset. Went on a 6-round streak from that point forward. Liquid did bounce back after that, but now after tying it at 13 again, they've fallen behind once more, and OpTic sits at the gates of victory. Just one more round needed to close out. And they go. Utility being tossed out from Liquid now as they are going to push in. All players going in through T-Con here. It's a full 5-man hit. Molly melting them down too. Stan at 3 HP being hit by that. Mixwell giving it all this intel from upper. They've got a guy in heaven too that can try to kill these guys sitting over here behind E-Box, but actually he's going to be one of the few players from OpTic that actually go down on the initial push. Mixwell spamming in. I'm not sure if he realized the bomb was being planted, but they're going to let that happen. Now a 2v3. The combined HP of both the Liquid players sits at about 30, however, so they're not feeling too great at this point. One of them already dead. It's on Elige to clutch 1v2. He knows where Freiberg's hiding at, but he can't hold on. So with that, OpTic Gaming will take control of this second map. 16-13 will be the final score, and they take it home 2-0 for tonight, claiming both Barrage and, of course, this map as well.
Well played. Liquid got the hell out of that server fast. That's got to be a tilt-inducing half after coming back and winning 3 rounds in a row, and then having that outer strat go so well, and then suddenly it just fails for like 2 more rounds in a row. It's just great counter nades, great composure from OpTic, especially to be able to stay stalwart in their defense, and yeah, congratulations. That was a good win.
All right, well, that's going to do it for Lauders and myself for the evening. We have the analyst desk waiting to break down this match and close out the night. So, Stunna, take it away.
Liquid leaving the server faster than Mixwell on his reads of his former teammate.
Ooh,
Inside.
I like that.
yeah.
It was a little bit. It was a good showing. All around a much closer bout, I do believe. But what do we have to say about this matchup, guys?
I felt like Liquid was starting off pretty good, and then after that eco with pistols, it was like a tire. It just popped a tire and it's deflated, and OpTic they got right back in the game right after that.
Yeah, I feel like it was a dogfight all the way through, to be honest. There was no, like, huge run of rounds for any team at any given time, and that's kind of how I looked at it. It was like a really exciting match to watch, right? You could probably pick out any one of these rounds to talk about and, find something interesting to say. We tried to build more of a theme of Mixwell getting sick reads on Stan on his T side, right? He had 2 double entries. Just all around cool matchup right here.
Well, I think you're onto something with that, because we're actually going to take a look at that now. You picked out a replay here that highlights Mixwell in those reads.
So this is on the first one where Mixwell just, he's like, OpTic's kind of struggling a little bit, but Mixwell gets 2 kills immediately inside, and it kind of forces him to take inside. Now Mixwell did an amazing job having those kills, and then he rushes back towards the CT spawn to have an extra kill. Okay, this is a little, you know, a little pushy, but after this point, Mixwell, you need to fall back. Now it has a pretty good example of doing too much. You got 3 kills. Your team's in the bomb site. It's a 2-on-2 or whatnot. Or actually, you have the man advantage now after you got that kill. But peeking again, you got the kill, and OpTic actually ends up losing the round. And luckily for them, if they didn't get that pistol eco, they could have lost the match, and it came down a round like this, where it was OpTic.
Right, it was a 16-13, right?
Yeah.
So it was a close match anyway, and if this round came back to bite them, then ooh-wee.
Yeah.
Then ooh-wee for sure. Ooh-wee would be the next round we're going to look at. It's going to be round 11, would be an upper diffuse here from Freiburg.
Yeah, so this round I wanted to highlight 2 things. Number 1 is Stanislaw getting caught by the rush, right? So he has like how do you not die there? I feel like I die there to like newbie players, right? But he stays alive, and you know, this retake inner is something that teams like SK have been going towards. Like that's one of Taco's tools in the playbook, is literally to spot inner like creeping up and down a ladder in the back of the yard. And they do it here with 2 ops. The thing is though, is that Freiburg has a sick clutch, and he ends up, you know, holding them off the bomb for so long that they don't defuse it, right? So viable setup, good job by Stan. At the end of the day, the experience of Freiburg is too much.
The way he read that smoke and was able to just kind of, you know, smoothly but slowly glide his way in there and get the round win. Veteran C for sure. I think that's an accurate term. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I think Team Liquid kind of flubbed that 5-on-1 actually, to where they're a lot of them were too passive. I know there's smokes and everything, and there's a little window, but you got to kind of be a little more aggressive if you have such a huge high number advantage and the bomb's ticking.
That's
quickly.
one thing I wanted to kind of highlight. So if, like, what I was saying is when they're kind of like, if you draw a straight line from summit, right, the sandwich inner, back pop, front oil, if you draw that across the bomb site, how much time do you think it takes to clear 2 Ts out from that point forward?
233
right?
units.
You know what I'm saying, though? But, like, it's easy to overestimate or underestimate how long it would take. So I think people need to get a better idea of that.
Well, our next replay here is one that you picked out, Eric. It's going to be round 13 here from Mixwell. Just aware of tendencies.
Yeah, so it's pretty similar to from before, as Mixwell playing on a team of Stanislav from, you know, the OpTic days, and as you see, completely counters him, gets 2 amazing 1-digs, and again, the same kind of story. He, after he gets a couple kills, instead of securing the bomb site, he's even more, you know, he's like pushing way too much, and he gets actually picked off by the guy Z. If he stayed alive, maybe played a different angle, could have went more in their favor. It's like, but luckily for OpTic, they end up winning the match.
Well, he almost grabs a 3rd kill there as well, as you see in connector area. It almost happens. He drops a Molotov.
Almost only happens in horseshoes and hand grenades. There
Yep,
you go.
very true. Couldn't have said it any better myself. God bless you, Eric the Bear Stromberg. Our last replay here is going to be around 18. This really kind of a defining moment in the match. I believe this one's you, James.
Oh, man. I mean, I would like to just not even have to talk here, because it was basically it was a full eco. Elige opens it up by running out mid. He sees a guy with a USP, and it lures him in, right? He's kind of salivating as he sees the guy, and then he gets double peeked, or he actually gets triple peeked, right? And his teammate's molly doesn't go deep enough, so there's these 2 CTs running behind a molly, and the smoke's occluding his vision to them, and he gets taken out. And then Stan gets taken out by getting shot in the back of the head. And then they're all 3 running through this narrow corridor of Ivy, and all of their dreams are quashed, and they lose the 0-2 match day against OpTic.
Don't chase eco kills, guys. They hear that pistol and just.
So is Elige the best player in NA by making that play, right? Because that has to go on the resume as well. Like, I love his plays, but like, if you're gonna choose to do that in a close match, right, that matters, I mean, that has to come into a certain extent.
It's a risky one, and there's a chance that it does go on his resume. But if you want to see what round we're talking about specifically, I think you can head over to youtube.com/ESLCS, where you can find all the VODs for this and the European division, as well as the VODs from last season. And with that being said, let's jump right into a recap of today. I believe we had some excellent matches, and overall, here we have it.
There's SK, you know, losing cash in SK fashion. First map, why try? And then second map, just blow Misfits out of the water. That was pretty cool to watch. And look at this. Oh, another stream. I see CLG almost losing.
Yeah, 25-21 on Inferno, CLG over Ghost. And actually, if you want to check out that next match, I believe they're going into Overpass. You could head over to secondary stream. But don't you dare do that before we're done talking, because we'll send our best guy, Eric, after you. In which case, you will have to run and hide, without a doubt. Let's take a look at some of these NA standings, because some of these teams can't hide behind these numbers. That's right. There will be top 6 here. OpTic, SK, Misfits, Liquid, Energy, Immortals finding their way up there into the top 6 now. And when we started today versus now, what are you guys seeing?
At the beginning of the week, they were 3rd from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
They're in that 12 spot where complexity is.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you see a lot of flux in every match, right? Like, I think if one team wins, there's going to be like multiple changes in number. So I wouldn't really get too caught up in the numbers. I'd get caught up in the trends. The trend is that Immortals went up significantly this week. Cloud9 went up a little bit. They went up half amount as much as Immortals. Haven't played all their matches yet this week. I think another one is that OpTic kind of solidified their territory with that 2-0 today, right? Like, if I had to, like, when I was waking up and eating breakfast in the morning, I'm thinking Liquid's going to go 2-0, right? If I had to put my money on 2-0
And trends, right?
right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
To do the opposite of what we say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of how it works. I think you guys give a prediction, and then the opposite happens. So if you're watching at home, that is the guideline there. The simulation is the opposite of what they're saying. It's just a hidden Easter egg.
But you're saying that, so should they do the opposite of that?
Well, I guess that's up for interpretation, isn't
Full
it?
of virility.
We're going to take a look at tomorrow's matches, because that will be bringing us back here to the Intel Esports Arena in Burbank.
Oh, man. Wow, these are great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Luminosity, Cloud9, Shroud Commando, and Renegades, as we do look at the later two.
Too bad there's no Dust 2.
Getting our daily dose of SK, keeping us sane.
Right? Yeah, I mean, there's something going on there worthwhile watching, most certainly. Anyways, I think that just about does it for us here. We'll be coming back tomorrow, same great time, same great place. Make sure you're here with us on the Xfinity Analyst Desk, and signing off. See you tomorrow.